Amazing show. This is Real Estate Uncensored. We have Alyssa Glutz with us. We are going to be talking about money pit traps, the 10 red flags in your new home purchase. Guys, this is something we all need to talk about. We need to know about for our buyers and for our sellers, depending on kind of which way they're going to go, selling their home, buying a new home, or to a first-time buyer buying a new home. What are the money traps? Alyssa's going to walk us through this entire laundry list of holy shit, what the hell just happened to my life? So Alyssa Glutz, what's up, girl? How are you?
Hello. Thank you. Nice to see you again. We're starting to become a pretty good friends now, right?
Yes, we are.
I can come over and have dinner.
Sure.
Show up. You do my laundry? You do my laundry too?
No, but Rupert will.
Okay.
Not a problem.
It's got to be better than the way it turns out with me.
Oh, fuck yeah.
So, anything's a step up. So we're going to talk about buying a new home and what could happen. I mean, this is the perfect example kind of coming into this because we knew we were going to talk about this. And I don't know if you wanted to talk about this, but your personal house of Greg has a bit of a money trap going on right now. A little bit of a money trap. The ones that we hate to have because they are like, you don't even get to really, enjoy it, but it's dentist. You're going to the dentist because
I am.
Your tooth fell out.
It's because my tooth fell out of my face. And
Yes.
so the dentist couldn't believe what was going on. And they're like, what do you mean, your crown fell off? I'm like, no, bitch, my fucking tooth fell out. They're like, oh my God. I'm like, yeah, oh my God. So yeah, that's gonna be a
You're
lot of fun
falling apart.
for the show. I am falling apart, one tooth at a time.
So you could take care of you, but I mean, what are we gonna do about these houses? Sometimes the things that we don't even know are going on, both with our house, but out here. But when you're walking through houses, I think I can remember the first time I ever walked through after renting. It's not, you don't have this mindset of walking around saying, what's that crack all about up there? Could that be something? Oh, what, that water damage? Could that be effective? I mean, could that hurt me? What are these appliances? I mean, just all the questions you have when you're walking around, you just don't know until you know.
It is. And that's one of the things that for new homes, just because it's a new home does not mean it's built perfectly. There's never a perfect home, boys and girls. There's just not. I'll guarantee you show me the greatest house ever, I will show you a flaw. One of the bigger things that I'll go through this list because I know that people, it's Friday, they want to get their information, get out there, drink a beer, iced tea, or wine.
Come on, let's get to the point.
Let's do it. So foundation issues, that's number one.
Correct.
So when it comes to that, I mean, I have a deal going on right now, and our inspector looked at the inside and the outside. There is a crack visible on both sides. So now we're disclosing it, and we're moving forward to figure out what kind of crack it is. Is it something that's detrimental to the property, or is it something you can see, but it's not going to be something structural that's going to affect the home over a long period of time? Now, I cannot make that decision myself. It's going to be from my inspector. Then I'm going to get a foundation inspector and a concrete guy out there. I want to really understand what the shit is going on there. Right. Foundations are not something to be laughing at. I mean, that is literally we always talk about the foundation of life, relationships, homes is always what you stand on. And if you say you look at a new house and you're like, you know what, it's a new house, it's going to be perfect foundation. Right. How do you know that? How do you know what their concrete mixture was? How do you know it was poured correctly? How do you know the proper rebar was put in there? How do you know the piers are deep enough? You got to ask. You got to understand. They have permits for all this shit. If you want to, go back and pull them so they actually feel really comfortable about it. Alyssa, what's your thoughts?
The inspection is not required by the mortgage lender, but it's always, obviously it's always advised that you should get one. I've personally gone through a couple where I didn't need to get a home inspection. I was doing cash or I was doing hard money or something, and I still got the inspections. I think it's when I see people sometimes say that they're not going to get one, to save a few $100. I just think like, what are you doing? Because you have, gosh, there's so much that now, are they going to get everything? No, but to be able to get let me ask you something. Actually, the question I was going to ask is, what do you suggest when people are going, whenever I hear somebody going into a new build and they want to, and they don't walk in with you, they don't walk in with any representation.
Then the agents are fucked because you have to register on your first visit. If you don't register, that's why as an agent, you always want to give your clients cards and say, if you're going to be looking at new homes, take my card and give it to the agent and say, I'm registering myself with Greg McDaniel, EXP Realty. we want to look at a couple of your models. Now, real estate agents, I've had people on the Real Estate Uncensored, and this was years ago. It was two guys. They were awesome. Young dudes. They made $90,000 in 90 days by purely creating websites that directed buyers to new home builders in their area, but they captured all the information, contacted the home builder going, hey, my client, Alyssa Glutz, would like to buy your home. I'm registering my client with you. They're going to come over and view your homes. Cash money, baby. That shit flows in. They don't want to have anything to do with you. They just send you checks. It is, why the hell are we not just doing that?
But like, honestly, but I think like about a buyer walking in there with, you're not even paying for it. And there's the contracts for new builds are always so different where there's, it's obviously going to benefit the builder, and so you have to kind of look through, and if there's no other reason to have, you think a realtor is not going to do anything for you on that, they're the ones that are going to keep your timeline, keep the timeline moving along and give you your heads up. You got 4 days to get this part completed or you're going to be in breach. I mean, just to have somebody who's running aside and saying, don't do that, do that, don't do that, I'll pay for that.
Well, it's like anything else in life. And like when you're learning how to cook or you're learning how to ride a bike, your mom, your dad, your friend, whoever it was that taught you how to ride a bike, they didn't say, here's your bike, go figure it the fuck out. They're like, no,
my dad
ran next to you, they push you until you eat shit. And then they're like, see, don't do that again. But that's not what we do. That's why we're walking with each other. And we're keeping our clients out of the money pitfalls. The second one, I really have a funny story on. The second one is old roofing. That is a pitfall.
Yes.
Dude, we did a home inspection on one of our listings. No joke. The inspector comes back and goes, what the fuck? I'm like, what? He's like, there's 3 roofs on this house. Just 1, 2, 3. And I'm like, that can't be good. He's like, it's not good.
It's not good.
Here's a bid for $30,000. Go get it fixed. I'm like, okay.
And that's a killer. It's such it can be such a butterfly effect. If you don't have that money, obviously a lot of people don't just have that money sitting around. So what are you going to do? You're going to finance it. You're going to put it on a credit card. You're going to max them out. You drop your credit score, blah, blah, blah. So old roofing it could be serious. Now, isn't it about every 30 years?
Well, give or take. I mean, you can get roofs that are like 10, 20 years, but those are real dog shit ones. I mean, definitely 30, 50 years, the 50-year roof. I mean, that thing's got thick ass, shingling on it. But is it really going to last 50 years? No, but it sounds great.
Yeah.
And he gives you the warm and fuzzies. So when you talk to your buyers and sellers, you'll be like, hey, man, I got a 50-year roof on this thing.
Yeah.
Who the fuck owns a home for 50 years?
Yeah, right. What about the solar people too that have to have the solar removed and then get the roof?
So
blah, 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 blah.
In California, that's a misnomer. Like we're actually getting solar on our new house as we speak. We just met with the guy the other day, and they attach it once the homeowner qualifies now. Then it can be transferred to the new buyer without them having to qualify. And I was like, wait a minute, isn't that bad information? He's like, yeah, it's been circulating. It's 100% horseshit.
Yeah, that's good to know because I thought
it's really good to know. But they do drill holes in your roof. They do that.
Yeah, yeah.
So that can
and it's qualifying for it still.
Yeah, it's the qualification. California, they're doing something with our power grid because our infamous governor has allegedly decided to give a huge tax rebate, and it is coming through. I'm not sure where it's coming from, but it is like, hey, look, you'll get solar for free with a Tesla or 1 to 2 Tesla batteries on your house for free, and because they want to take a lot of load off the grid.
Right.
Not sure how that works, but it can be a money grab 100%.
Yeah, you have to look into those things, those rebates.
Those rebates are amazing. Absolutely amazing. Where the hell's my list?
People have been throwing them away, Greg. I had a few different states this week, like Minnesota, Texas, other places where people were not realizing that they had a tax rebate check in their mailbox because it was coming from this Submittable Holdings or some other company that, of course, we are so trained now to throw stuff away. He had $1,300 sitting in his mailbox that he almost tossed.
Dude, funny story about that, okay? This morning, I'm talking to my girlfriend, and I had this little box show up in my mailbox. I'm like, oh, cool. My buddy Michael Fielding, who runs a tech company that helps out real estate agents. I think it's RE Tech or Support RE. Oh, hold on, I'll get a fucking address for him real quick. But here's the funny thing about it. It's Support Geeks. That is Support Geeks. Go
Mm-hmm.
check them out. Michael's amazing. Michael's going to send me these little tabs I can put on the back of my phone. I can just get near another phone. They can get my contact information. But I
Yeah.
got this black thing in the mail. I'm like, what the fuck? I didn't order anything like this.
Yeah.
I almost threw it
Throw it away.
away.
Yep.
But it's actually a bumper for the new house for one of the doors downstairs. And I showed Jackie. I'm like, Jax, what the fuck is this? She's like, that's mine. So it does. I mean, you can throw things away. Your tune, your mind, our mindsets are like everything's built to break these days. So I'm just going to toss it. End of
Yep.
story. Now, one thing you really should toss, and this is number 3 when it comes down to the money pits, are outdated electrical systems. Those can start fires. Those can be massive problems.
Big problem.
Inefficiency. I mean, the list goes down the way. We just put another property pending. And the guy wanted to see it, and the house needed a lot of work. Well, it does need a lot of work. He's like, show me the panels. And then we went in and we took a look at the panels. Both two panels are known historically to cause house fires.
Oh my gosh. I mean, big one. That wasn't mentioned to me either. And I had to replace mine a few months ago, 10,000 to replace it. And it's just like, oh, well, okay. I've replaced quite a bit over the last year. It's good.
The
it's good thing the mortgage business is awesome. I'm just kidding.
Oh my God, yeah. And this is stuff, guys, they don't have to be money pits. I mean, I'm a huge fan of home warranties and home inspections. This prevents these money pit things. And if you guys want to get a good kick out of money pits, go see the old Tom Hanks movie called Money Pit when he and his wife bought a house and the whole fucking thing falls apart. I was laughing out loud because I hadn't seen that thing in decades.
That's a good movie.
It's idiotic, but it's realistic, and it's terrifying to know that those both realities exist at the exact same time in the movie, especially in our industry.
In both ways, because I used to date a guy who was a flipper, a wholesale, guy, but he, I'll tell his secrets now, but he used to be looking for the ones that had mold. I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, I'm looking for because I have the mold cure. So I'm going to go in there and I'm going to get these because people are like, no, you find out what nobody wants and then you go get that.
My guy who just bought the house that I'm talking about, a different house, not the one with the 3 roofs, another one, the guy just picked it up for, I'm not going to tell the number on air, but because it's an escrow, but it was a very high 6-figure number. Let's put it that way. And that thing had, visible black mold. I mean, I'm not an expert, but I'm pretty sure
people would freak over that. Yeah.
But he loved it. He's like, perfect, cool, totally down.
Yep.
He's like, I like to buy ship boxes. And I'm like,
he likes to find stuff that he can point out to the seller is like, oh, that's going to be a problem.
Oh, that's a huge problem. Dude, it is insane how different people view different things in real estate. And that's the cool part about it. There's a buyer and there's a seller for every product out there. You just got to find the right ones. Let's see. Ms. Reynolds, what he's saying here, 95% of the homes I see have old electrical panels. Yep.
Yeah.
Federal Pacific. You got them. Those are the 2 that were in the house. Zeneco.
If I was buying a house right now, I would be walking around just with its own separate checklist. After I've already been to the house and loved it and wrote the offer, maybe even before I wrote the offer, depending on how much time you have, I'd walk back over and be like, okay, major appliances, electrical, plumbing, roof, da-da-da-da-da. When was it replaced? And we get a lot of that stuff through the MLS and stuff, but like realistically, what's the time frame I have for when this is going to have to be replaced? What's the time frame for this? What's this? Do I have the ability to get to 50,000 in 2 years? Or am I going to have to put that out? You have to think about these things.
And that's the ability of a good agent, a good lender to advise their clients about this stuff, because just because your client owns the home doesn't mean they understand the home.
Ownership.
Because, if you didn't know, right? If you didn't know that Federal Pacific, and I think Zenco, I think that's how you say it. If you didn't know those names, I knew Federal Pacific. I didn't know Zenco until 2 days ago. And I was like, holy shit. Because Federal Pacific's all over our area, all over the place.
Oh, okay.
And just advising people, say, look, these boxes are known to have fires. There needs to be an inspection, for the home. And then even if you want to get an electrician in to really give you a bid on what it's going to cost to replace that, because it's going to be worthwhile. And Jonathan, you came in a little bit late. You're asking kind of what was the
10,000 cure.
10,000 cure.
That's just 10,000 was what my electrical panel the bid was, but it wasn't something. It was just something that I'm the dumbass that paid it in Arizona, basically, but maybe I could have got it better, Jonathan. I don't know, but most stuff I really work them.
But it's cured. Now, here's the funny thing. We're going to step into number 4. That's plumbing problems.
Yes.
Holy shit stick balls. Guys, it's all fun and games until your poo-poo don't go down the right hole. Okay? Then it's a real shit show.
Yeah. Real deal. Water heater. Get ready for it. $3,000 I spent this week on that. Yeah.
Dude, right now we're in the new house. We went over to the water some of the plants and we hear this weird noise. And this goes into plumbing. The plumbers decided to not tell the general contractor, which would relay it onto us, that they decided to leave a massive water pipe open. So when we turned the hose on to water shit, it flooded the downstairs basement area. So we had to grab buckets and everything else. And imagine if you're buying a house, right? And a couple has been living there. They're like, yeah, it kind of has some low water pressure. We don't know why. It's just so weird. Well, you get a plumber down there. It's like, oh my God, they have a cracked pipe. They have a loose pipe and it's spilling down here. Now we got a mold issue growing underneath the house. They never gone down there because they're older or overweight or just don't want to go down and see spiders and rats and snakes. And all of a sudden you got yourself a swamp downstairs, which now you got to put a vapor barrier down. You probably got to put a sump pump in at some point. Got to bring the plumbing people in to evaluate how bad it is. Then get a bid for it, and it's not going to stop at one crack. They're going to go through the entire system, and you're going like, holy shit, that's like $50,000 or $30,000 or $10,000, depending on what your issues. But it can be avoided by having someone intelligent look at it, someone you trust. Now in California, anyone can become a home inspector. Literally, I could be a home inspector tomorrow, hang my shingle up. Really? I'm a home inspector. Trust me.
Okay.
That would be the world's worst thing for me to be your home inspector. I don't know what to look like. And a lot of buyers and sellers don't know what to look at. And they don't know what is important, what's not. They think they know because they watch HGTV. And good Lord, we all know HGTV is 100% accurate on everything.
And it's just the unseen extra expenses that we don't think about. Like if you're going to buy a house and you want a pool, in Arizona with getting an insurance policy. If I'm just going to give you a quote as a mortgage lender for like a standard insurance policy, it's not going to be including a pool with a diving board and a trampoline and a pit bull outside. No, the dogs don't matter anymore. But you know what I'm saying? What we don't know are all those extra layers that are going to come in. And next thing you know, you got a leak in your pool or somewhere in your on your property, there's a leak and it's causing your water bill to be $600 a month. This isn't a true story or anything, but you can't find the leak, but so it's not really like a problem for my house as much as it's costing me water. My neighbors hate me because I steal all the water in Arizona. You want to know where the water's going, Arizona?
It's going to your house, of course.
Yeah. But it is frustrating. And like a toilet, you can't just let that toilet just run. You got to get in there with your girl's pants or whatever it's called, big girl pants on. And I said, girly, put the toilet, pull the lid off. I always feel like such a when I get a toilet to work again. I can do it,
dude. Anyway. We couldn't figure out where a leak was in our outside landscaping. And one of the bibs for the water thing kept just burping over, just nonstop burping over. So we decided that we're going to do something logical. We're just going to dig out and find the crack. There was no crack. What there was 6 inches of highly netted and intertwined tree roots that took 2 hours to dig through. And then we figured out it was a $10 problem. All we had to do is replace the top because there was something in there. Problem solved. So guys, I guess what we're saying about the plumbing things, guys, or anything else along these lines is that it's not always that difficult. It's very simple. It's very simple.
Very simple. Yeah.
It doesn't have to cost you $1 gajillion and your left leg.
Yep. I will tell you, the guys that were here last week fixing my water heater and everything, he came into my kitchen and just for a minute, I did catch him because he looked under the sink and I said, I can't get my sink my automatic little sinker to work because you just wave your hand, it's supposed to turn on,
Yeah,
and he's like, I don't know. So he's
it's a
looking down
battery.
there, and I could tell he was looking at something. And then he goes, yeah, I can fix that. I'll do that when I do the other thing. I'll do that for free for you. And I looked down and I went, I have batteries. I can do that. And he goes, oh, yeah. Yeah, just replace those batteries. I go, yeah, thank you. Sorry.
Yeah, fuck off.
But for free, you'll do that for me? For me?
For me, you're gonna throw all that effort in to just unscrew, take 2 batteries out,
I'm
put
loyal
2
to
more in.
life for you. Yeah. Then they come in and go, by the way, it's going to be 90,000 for a electrical panel. Yeah. 10 grand. Yeah.
You're like, look, fuck off and die. I can do it
Yeah.
my damn self. And that's another thing.
I
If
am
you guys
woman.
if you don't really know how to do something, what you guys can't see is right over that part of my other part of my house over there. I have a wood wall, a custom wood wall that I had built in my house. I fucking love that thing. But the gal who installed it, she'd never done it before. Guess what she did? She told me, Greg, let me watch a couple of YouTube videos and I'll get it installed. Guess what she did? She did exactly that. So, I mean, it gets us the burden of proof and burden of importance is really going to be on our shoulders as the professionals. But the one thing we can't predict and really say is the HVA inefficiencies, which is number 5. And that's a big one. How's that for
Yeah.
the lending side?
Oh, that's rough too, because I have seen people, I'm sure you have too, seen sellers or seen people that have kind of just added, I don't know what the term is, but I think it's like added a bunch of free on just to kind of crank it through, just to get it like through the inspection, just praying, that they're going to get it through. But yeah, that could be a big problem. And I'll tell you what, the price discrepancy, if you don't really, at least this little tip, if you go on Facebook, okay, and you just put in auto insurance or whatever the case, you're going to find a million posts on people saying, does anybody have a good ring? And then you go underneath and then you read everybody's comments saying, well, I paid $5,000 for my AC unit. Well, I paid $16,000 for my AC unit. You get a ballpark, right? And that's what happened recently, because I have a good friend who gets me good deals and got me a $5,000 AC unit installed and everything on my house, which is pretty damn good. And then my mom calls me the next day, is like, mine was 16,000, same AC unit, same everything, but I guess labor costs a lot these days. I'm like going,
Not
so I
that much.
know you got to work it. You really do got to, obviously people need to make money. And so you can't, and that's what I have a hard problem with the home warranties, even though I know they do give you protection. There's time, they also tend to like, send your request out to a bunch of places that they're paying half the amount for. And so you don't have exactly the best customer service from those kind of contractors.
Sometimes yes, sometimes no. Fidelity, who we use quite a bit for home warranties. I mean, for myself, I've used them multiple times, and I have to pay like $100 for a service fee, or $75. I think $75. And then, but if they cover that, then they will back it up, and they've saved me they saved us like $2,500 on the pool stuff this year.
It's really important to know what it covers
and be specific on what it covers, because like our wine fridge is going out. So I'm like, crap, is the wine fridge going to be covered? So I looked under. Yes, it is. But what is covered in there? Because they'll say it's covered, but they're not covering the one thing that fails. So that's really kind of, I mean, it's a good and a bad. I always encourage people to have them. A quick little tip for the HVAC inefficiency tab. If you want to, when you're working with a buyer or a seller and you're looking at their HVAC system, and if you see the insulation wrap, like that, like that gold looking insulation wrap, anywhere where you see black spots or black lines, that is where the system is leaking. That's pushing out air, and that's where you can tell if it's efficient or inefficient. If you don't see a lot of black, you got a pretty good system. If you see a lot of black, you got a pretty inefficient system. So that's an easy hack for you guys to take a look at that one. Number 6. Pools. Oh, the pool insulation. I mean,
poor insulation. Pretty close though.
Insulation,
I was like,
pool. Fucking McDaniel with their dyslexic ass. Fuck off.
I'm all
It's
pool
insulation.
What? But pool insulation too, that could be cracks, but we kind of covered that. So we'll talk about poor insulation. But insulation, the energy thing. I remember we paid a couple $1,000s when I bought my house that was out in Rio Verde, like this very dust area with lots of scorpions and everything. We paid a company $2,000 Orkin or whatever to come in and basically seal our whole house. The seal. Now, did it work? I mean, my daughter got bit by stung by a scorpion. I did. So I don't know. Maybe we would have
What?
got stung by 5. I don't know. I
Oh,
don't think it worked. I don't think it was worth it. I didn't feel any more sealed in. I'll tell you that much.
but it made you feel good. You're like, yeah,
I
I
got the
hate
Band-Aid and
snow.
whatever.
Dude, I'm sorry, man. Side note,
It probably does feel yellow.
scorpions in like so when we first started moving shit around in the Alamo yard, I totally forgot that Alamo definitely has scorpions
Mm,
because my dumbass, since I've been living in a condo for the last 10 years, which I freaking love my little castle in the sky.
mm,
Um,
mm.
dude, I picked up a rock without gloves on. Guess who was below it?
Yep.
And it was a tiny one. And from what I understand, the small scorpions are the really
Smaller.
bad ones.
Yeah.
The bigger ones are kind of like, nah, they're like a Labrador. They can come over and hang out with you. You can keep them as a pet. The small ones are like little assholes.
They're the worst. Yeah.
And
Although
so
you won't die. I have one show we'll do one time, the most hilarious story with my daughter getting stung and we almost killing people to get her to the hospital. And they were like, you have 4 hours before, like scorpions, they don't like you have 4 hours before anything even kicks in. You could have called poison control. I'm standing there in like half my pajamas, one shoe, like my daughter, and like my ex-husband looked worse than me. But we drove a 45-minute hospital ride in 10-15 minutes. Maybe we drove through red lights, everything. My daughter's just sitting in the back like, ah! And we're like, you're gonna die, and she's like, I'm fine. Anyway, you need to
she's
get
like,
stung by a scorpion so you know what that is like.
nope,
And then that way you can take all your fear out of it, because there's
nope.
these great little green capsules you get online. And I'm telling you, you just literally squeeze it over on a sting. It turns I got stung on a toe. So it's whole toe turned white. And within like 40 seconds, no pain at all. And it was on its way to healing. It's miracle. It's a miracle stuff. We'll have to put it in the notes.
Oh my God,
You got to
yes.
have it. If you're in Arizona, you got to have that stuff, because it's just like boom,
Shoot.
fixed. Yeah.
That's a quick fix. I know if everything could have that quick of a fix, I would be ecstatic about it.
Yeah.
And that kind of leads us perfectly into number 7, termite and pest, right?
Yeah.
And
Is that a problem with you?
huh?
Is that a
Oh yeah.
problem in
Oh yeah,
California?
yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. We
I
just had a
don't.
guy come out and take a look at the property in Alamo. Because he saw the droppings and shit on the side of the house.
Yeah.
So we're like, what the heck is it? And so we had a guy come out and he gave us about a $3,100 bid, and he's gonna seal up the entire house.
Yeah.
And
I just had it done. I know.
he's gonna take a look and see what in the hell is living up there. He thinks it's some bats, because he says it looks like bat poop, because bat poop and rat poop look very similar. But with the location, he's like, I'm pretty sure you guys just have some bats up there. And so he's going to test it. He's going to put some live food up there after he seals anything, come back and check it. And it's a 2-year warranty. If there are any critters up there, he'll come back and get them. But pests and termite, man, termites, those are nasty little creatures. And
they're nasty, but don't let them turn you away.
No, you can get it treated. That's the easy part.
Mm-hmm.
And we have here, since we actually in the area that we live in right now in Walnut Creek, California, in the 680 area, this was a big area for almonds and walnuts. And so walnuts, this whole valley was walnut orchards. That's why it's called Walnut Creek.
Mm-hmm.
And all those old orchards are gone, but the roots are still in the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like the roots stuck in my face from my tooth. But we have subterranean termites in every house.
Yeah.
And so it's easy to figure out what it is, take the appropriate treatment plan.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to bother you. My parents, when they built their new house like 20 years ago, they were so pissed because they got it done. 6 months later, they had termite issues where they just poured. So they went in and the guys came out, they drilled holes in their brand new concrete in their garage. Right. They went around the foundation, they drilled holes, put whatever chemical in, sealed them up, problem solved. Yep. It's not it's not a house ending purchase ending issue. It's a simple fix. Again,
it was like 1,700, I think it was a couple weeks ago. But yeah, then I noticed them. I started noticing them. I had them come out. They did the treatment and everything. Haven't had them since. Yeah,
So, guys,
they're
it's very
there,
simple to
but
do. Of course, they're gonna be there. I mean, most of them fly around, so they're gonna be
don't
flying
talk about
around.
them too much because then I
Okay,
think about them all day
okay,
long.
okay. We're gonna let it go. We're letting it go. Let's move on to number 8, which doesn't have anything to do with bugs.
No.
Number 8 is gonna be water damage, guys. What are the
Mm.
signs of water damage? How do you identify it? Should you identify it? Are you a licensed plumber? Should you make predictions because you watch a couple of YouTube videos or listen to us? Fuck no. Go get a plumber, go get a home inspector. If you think there might be a water intrusion, call it out. Water is kryptonite to a home. We
Mhm.
all know that. It is the worst possible thing. It trumps termites, it trumps,
All
scorpions,
of it.
it trumps snakes, everything. Water is the worst.
And you
So
don't know what it's gonna turn into. What more problems, you know?
or how big is the lake? How long has the leak been there? Has it led to mold? Has it led to wood rot? Has it led
Mhm.
to termites coming in and saying, "Oh, look, an easy snack.
Mhm.
I can get through this stuff pretty fast." The lending side, if you get a bad pest report, is that something it has to be cleared on the section 1, or
Mm-mm.
can you
Well, we
guys let it
wouldn't get it.
go through?
We don't take the inspection. We don't want the inspection, but for the termite, it's only required now on VA loans. As we get a copy of the termite report. In fact, I think that might have just changed something recently about that. I'll check. But yeah, no. Otherwise, we don't want a copy of the termite. We don't want a copy of your inspection. If you give your inspection to the lender's going to have to submit it to the underwriter. The underwriter's going to end up calling all those things out to be, fixed prior to closing. It turns into a
Exactly.
nightmare. Yeah, don't do that. Don't do
Yeah.
that. And don't give it
The-
to your lender because their lender's just like, that delete.
Like, don't show me that. Don't show me that shit. Now I have to know about it.
Now I gotta know. I don't want to
Like I,
know
I
unless I
talked to a
gotta know.
client of mine the other day, and she was like talking about all this stuff. I'm like, stop talking. Stop talking. Because if you tell me what you're going to tell me, then I have to know. If I have to know, if I have to disclose it. If I don't know it, I don't have to
Like,
disclose
I'm
it.
not a bad liar. Stop it.
And I'm not trying to, mislead anybody, but it's
Uh-uh.
your disclosures you have to fill out. So you have to have the knowledge. I can't do this.
Mm-mm.
And they
Yeah.
they got the point. They're like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm like, it's okay. Just don't let it happen again. But no, they're sweet, sweet humans. And again, that goes to a seller who hasn't sold in a long time. They just didn't know.
Right.
I guess that's where you and I and the rest of the industry, from time to time, we all do this. We all screw up and go like, damn it, I should have freaking said that, or shit, I should have done that.
It's the worst.
Make a checklist, guys. It's like a pilot. You're a pilot. You're flying a plane of profit. This is the profit plane, right to your bank account, right? Do you want the whole plane and all the luggage to land in your account? Or do you want only half the plane to get there?
Mhm.
Right? So it's the profit plane. I just made that up. We're going to call it the
I
profit
like
plane.
it. Yeah.
So protect that. Shit, people.
Mhm.
Okay, here's one that cracks me up. And especially in California, we are so like eco-friendly.
Yeah.
Let's go electric, which is fucking stupid, by the way.
Right.
But outdated appliances, how could those be a money pit, Alyssa?
Well, it depends because I feel like everything. I was going another way thinking about appliances and how that they've shifted so much for shelf life, like or how long they last. They're getting
Right.
shorter and shorter. So you might read something and say, "Oh, cool! It looks like they just put in a brand new dishwasher and refrigerator and everything in 2020. So like we're good. I mean, they're brand new." No, that's 3 years old. It doesn't feel like it's 3 years old, but
Mm-hmm.
and some of these appliances have like a 3-year, that's it. They're about to be done. So you kind of got to know on each one of those, but what else could they do? What else? How else could they turn into a bigger problem if they turned into a
So a big problem with outdated appliances is just usage of inefficiency.
oh yeah.
So I mean, the newer ones are going to run into much lower consumption of either electricity and or gas with the same or better output.
Mhm.
I mean, some of
There's
the older
some
stuff like
rebates going on though, aren't
there's
there?
some
I'm almost
rebates.
sure. Yeah.
There's also like same thing for inefficiencies. I mean, for toilets, low flow toilets,
Mhm.
you got to put low flow if you're going to do anything here in California. Fireplaces, when it comes to
Mhm.
inefficiencies, it can't be a gas burning. I mean, a wood burning fire anymore.
Mhm.
If you have a wood burning fireplace, they highly recommend, and I think they're actually going to make it mandated that when
Mhm.
you sell it, you have to transfer it into an electric
Mhm.
fireplace, which I really don't have a problem with. I mean, there's no cleanup. There's no real fire risk. It pushes out the heat. You can click it on, click it off. No wood storage, no pieces of wood all over the house. I don't have a
Mhm.
problem with it. But the older appliances, for folks with kids, there's some child protective stuff on there, which is really nice. But
Mhm.
just the efficiency. So if you could cook
Right.
something faster at a lower cost to yourself with a newer
Mhm.
appliance versus sitting there with those old ovens with the rings that you've got to get red and you got to put your pot on it and you got to cook
Mhm.
on it, that's going to chew through your bank account relatively quick. We can get some glass cooktops that are going to go a little bit faster and easier to clean too, and they look
Totally.
not so as aged. Let's put it that
Well,
way.
and all of these things, even with the appliances, um, there's definitely the couple loan programs that I have, like an FHA 203K, and then Guild has a special program that allows you to just build into the loan all the costs of getting energy efficient appliances. So like let's say
Mm.
you're going to buy a house but it could really use it's perfect but you're going to end up needing a fridge and a dishwasher and a washer dryer and things like that. You can do this appliance package loan with us
No
that allows
kidding.
you to finance it in. Yeah, I'll get you more details on it because I didn't really we have literally hundreds and hundreds of programs at Guild. There's so much available to me now, but
Why is that
that's
not being told? I've
I know. Well,
never
that just
heard
came
of
out.
that.
Yeah, that's a good one because that's something that would be easy and there's nothing to it. The old 203Ks were kind of scary to do if you've a realtor that had a FHA buyer and they said they want to do a 203K. You're like, ugh. Even though for you, Mr. Realtor, it's not really impactful for you. You don't have to do anything. We close like normal, but then the day after closing, the work begins. Okay. And the contractor gets paid. The way that they get paid is usually, at closing half the amount. And then 45 days after they get the lump sum. The appliance package thing is nice because you're not dealing with contractors and bids and all that. Like it's strictly just boom, energy efficient appliances that, what's the difference? You're walking into a house that's practical, you're getting all the new stuff that you're getting out of a new home. But, I don't know, construction on new homes or, think
It's
about when they
iffy.
go, yeah, you don't know what you're getting.
Like
So,
there's a couple of home builders that are nationwide home builders that I'm not going to call out, but we all know who we're going to really talk about here. And they're known to be marginal home builders, but they crush and produce so many homes a
yeah.
year. It's like, do you want to get a $18 to $20 hamburger, or do you want to go
Yeah.
get a McDonald's, cheeseburger? Because they're both hamburgers,
Yeah.
but one's built better with better products.
Yeah.
So which one's going to make you happy, right?
Quality is
Um,
important. Yeah.
so let's talk about our last one. Talk about quality. Is landscaping, and then overgrowing backyards. Just vegetation touching the house, soil rubbing up against the foundation and the exterior, which is causing potential moisture issues on the interior.
Yeah.
Landscaping is a big thing.
Big.
What
Mosquitoes is big out
mosquitoes?
here. So that if you have like areas out in your backyard that are, little bird baths or whatever the case, whatever little water areas that mosquitoes are growing. So if you start creating a mosquito issue in your neighborhood, next thing you know, you have neighbors that are freaking out and causing problems with you. And then, it can definitely become, I think neighbors more than anything else. Nobody wants, you don't want to be the one neighbor on the street,
No.
that doesn't take care of their stuff.
It's like the
So
dirty kid in school. Like
yeah.
the kid who rolls in mud on purpose and he walks into the groom going, "Hi, good morning." You're like,
Yeah.
"Are you sure that was mud, dude? Because that doesn't smell so good." But it's
But it
it's
can be
true.
expensive. I had a micro burst. Okay, I love these monster trees. It was one of the biggest things I was drawn to with this house here.
Mhm.
And big, huge eucalyptus tree right when you turned around my corner. I even the first day that I moved in, I grabbed the swing, the big rope swing that was put there already, and I swung across my whole, front yard, and it was just glorious. And then a year later, we had a micro burst, a monsoon storm, burst my tree. Literally, it looked like the apocalypse. I opened my garage and I'm like, oh my gosh, the whole tree from the root was just like literally hanging out on my street. halfway,
shit?
and my mailbox for my neighbors was crushed, like halfway across my. So I walk out there going, "Oh my God." Like my neighbor can't even leave their house. It's across their whole driveway. And I can't leave my house. And what are we going to do? And I'm thinking to myself, well, somebody who gets this, who picks this up? And they're like, well, you don't have an HOA, honey. I mean, I'm like going, they're like, you're going to have to pay though, or your neighbors are going to get really mad. You're going to have to pay to go get that tree removed. $1,200 was the best I could get.
That's pretty
Now,
cheap, actually. That's really pretty cheap.
And when you think about it, you know what I did? I got on the phone that morning and I'm like, I am calling Rob and Stucky. I'm going to find some people that want some of this wood because they would pay big money for this eucalyptus tree, but I got to pay to have it removed. So if I could sell it, then they can get their ass over here and pick it up. It didn't work out, but I tried.
I love the hustle and the mindset there. That is something like, okay, you're like a politician. You never pass up a good disaster. Oh, that tree fell. Let's make some money on this shit.
But trees can be a big deal. We paid $400 to try to cure a tree one time, and then we had to pay $400 to remove it. So it was like, you know what? Trees can get expensive.
And it can cause some animosity, like you said, between neighbors. We have a neighbor in the new property, and they are on one side of us. And when we were just kind of getting stuff moving in, so on and so forth, he comes over and goes, so hi, we're the neighbors. My name's so-and-so, and my wife's so-and-so, and blah, 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 small talk bullshit. And then he goes, so do you think you guys could maybe ever think about just cutting those trees down? Because they are above us, and we have redwoods, like 4 redwoods growing. Yeah. And he wants us to either top or cut down our redwoods so his view doesn't get impacted. Well, shenanigans took place, and we made a joint decision that we're going to water those trees. So, it's an important thing because, like, when a tree falls, we're going to just water those trees, man. Just deep root water, bitches grow. My parents had giant redwoods in their property, and I remember it was 4th of July, and I had a couple of friends over. We got back from the parade. We're drinking beers in the pool, having fun. All of a sudden, we hear this click, boom.
Oh no!
It's like a shotgun blast that went off, and all of us are like, whoa. I know it's 4th of July, and everyone shoots shotguns, but what the shit was that? Here's what it was. One of the giant redwood limbs, and I'm talking like 5 feet in diameter, giant, decided to break off from the tree, and it fell into the neighbor's garage. Now, why is that part of the story important? Because here in Northern California, there's a classic car company called The Good Guys. Yeah. And they have huge events. They're doing we're talking massive collectible cars. Well, they're behind my parents' house in Alamo. It fell on their garage with a lot of really expensive cars.
Oh, no.
And thank God the fence broke the fall and supported the limb for 24 hours so we can get somebody out to cut it down. But imagine that if it fell on and killed $100,000 worth of classic cars. And that's in the back. That's just in their backyard. So, I mean.
And does home insurance even cover that? And do you have an umbrella policy and stuff like that,
All of those things, it happens. And that's why you are so good about taking into account when you get a loan. And when I work with a buyer, I say, look, there's a price and then there's a cost. The price is what you pay up front. That's the asking price. The cost is snuggling away some bucks in case a tree falls on the neighbor's $100,000 car collection. Yes. Or if you get a scorpion bite and it's a kid from the neighborhood and they're on your property, snuggling away a couple of dollars here and there for the rainy day fund saves your behind. And if you don't use it, fine, go buy a fucking Louis Vuitton bag at some point when you sell the home. Okay.
Or get that umbrella policy protection or whatever the case is. The last thing you want is them to try to put a lien or something on your property for it,
There's so many potholes
coming after the equity,
or chewing into the equity. I mean, they could throw a lien against you, and guess what? You're going to pay it no matter what, one way or the other. You're going to pay that damn thing. Could take 20 years, but you're still going to pay it, and it could be avoided.
Last thing to say about landscaping, though, too, is be careful of those outside structures because more and more, like I think we talked about earlier, is about that she shed that had a lien. that they didn't know that there was a lien against, that there was money still owed on this like she shed tiny home in the backyard. And so when the new buyers bought it and they went out of town, the owners, or the she shed owners came and repoed the she shed. They came and took it out of the backyard while it had tons of their personal items and stuff in it because it wasn't paid. It wasn't paid off. And they had a lien against it.
So they trespass on the property to acquire an asset.
Was
it in the contract?
And it was even part of their contract that the she shed stays. You know what I mean?
Yeah, about that.
Yeah, they got a little lawsuits going. So
that's gonna be a problem.
It's gonna be a problem.
Your broker's not gonna like you too much on that one. They're like, you did what? Oh Lord.
You know, you wouldn't think about looking up to make sure they don't have a lien on their shed, you know, but
that is the first I've heard of a shed lien. You got a sheddy lien. You got a second lien.
Mortgage on my shed where my kids stays. Yeah. It's my ADU now. Yeah. That's a whole nother world.
So we have she sheds and we have profit planes. This has been one hell of a day for different sayings. So quick recap. Alyssa, I'll do the top 5. You do the bottom 5. Here are the 10 pitfalls and money traps in homes, guys. Number 1, foundation issues. Make sure you get that looked at. Number 2, old roofing. Get a qualified roofer, not your Uncle Phil who did roofing in 76. All right. Number 3, outdated electrical panels and systems. Make sure that wire is not tube and knob. Make sure it's up to snuff. Not going to burn the damn house down. Again, get a licensed electrician to take a look at it. Plumbing problems, leaky, pipes, poor water pressure, all of that stuff. Get a qualified plumber to review all of those. And last but not least, on my 5 are going to be the HVAC inefficiency. And see, remember, go back and look. If that yellow wrap is around those pipes and you see black spots or black lines, that's where the system is leaking and it's being inefficient. That's something you can tell your future buyers and even tell your sellers. So that is my 5. What are your 5?
Okay. So we're going to start with poor insulation.
Hey, let's do pool too. Okay.
That could be the name of my next book. Poor insulation. Okay. Poor insulation. Inadequate insulation results in higher energy bills. And it could turn into all kinds of fun stuff. Beyond the fact that, you'll be cold. I don't know. Okay.
Or hot.
Termite. Yeah. Or hot. Yeah. Termite or pest infestations. We got to watch for those. Water damage. Signs of water damage can indicate leaks or flooding issues. And it's just a little note there to also always check that insurance policy for what kind of coverage you have in case of water damage, in case of, we can't guess everything that's going to happen, but we can at least have a good idea of what isn't covered, like what we should be really looking out for. 9, outdated appliances. And make sure you're checking that. Talk to me if you need a loan program that helps you build in the cost of the appliances to the house. And then landscaping neglect is a big one. Overgrown, poorly maintained yards will require lots of work, money. You have to really think about what is the cost to keep it up.
Big time.
You can't just be thinking, I'm going to mow that lawn every day. It's okay. I can do it. I could do it. No, you won't.
No, you will not. You liar.
She's breaking up with you. She's breaking up with you over those weeds. I will tell you that. So get out there and weed. Yeah.
Dude, I always laugh that everyone's like, I want a big house, big yard, big everything. I'm like, you do understand that you are signing a marriage contract to that lawn and it owns your ass. Every Saturday, you're going to be doing shit. Every day you're not doing something, the honey-do list explodes because the hedges need to be trimmed. Shit needs to be swept up. You need to put all the stuff into the can, take it out to the street, make sure that lawn's working. What about the irrigation? Why is there a raccoon always in my backyard? It's just non-stop horse shit.
Only you. Laundry. I mean, it just makes me feel like laundry. Every time I have a triumphant moment that the laundry's done.
There's another load of laundry. We're just waiting in the wings.
Mom, my laundry. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, it's your laundry.
I was done.
You do it. Oh my God. Okay, so guys, those are our takeaways, our 10. Hopefully got some humor out of it. We really appreciate you. Alyssa is a legend in the lending industry. Go follow her on TikTok. Go follow her on Instagram. Miss Hashtag color my credit. Amazing content, thousands of videos, every subject under the sun that you can possibly imagine with loans and mortgage issues and the good stuff and the bad stuff. Go follow her, go listen to her, get in touch with her. How do they call you right now, Alyssa?
You could call me. Do you want me to throw my phone number out there? I think it's on the
That's
back.
really up to you.
480-206-6516. You can call me,
and
text me. Yes.
And yes, boys, that is not her real cell phone. That's her burner number, and she does not pick up in the middle of the night.
That's right.
So I'm kidding. I really don't know what that
lying.
number does.
He's lying. I got one phone. I pick them all up. I am single as it gets. At 3 a.m, I will answer your call. I don't care.
That smells like a dude's number. Yeah. Hi. I'm here. You alone?
What's up? Yes. I'm available. Yes. Who are you?
on every spectrum.
No.
Open for dinner dates and for loans. Let's go. All right, guys. All joking aside, this is our Friday show we're doing today. We were supposed to do it on Thursdays. I had some other stuff. So I hope you guys got value out of it. Go share with your friends and family. Listen, I will be back, I think, next Thursday, actually, maybe next Friday for our next installment of this. Keep your ears tuned. Pass it off to a friend or family member. All right, guys. Love you to pieces. Until next time.
Bye.
Peace out, ninjas. We gone.